Hello, folks. So, by the way, this isn't... So, I am actually making a recording of a recording because I made 4 videos, and the first one you see here is the first of 4 of those 4, where the mic was not connecting to OBS for some reason, and when I looked into settings, it was set to default, which, you know, default, I assume it should just simply be detecting it, but it wasn't. So yeah, so I recorded this entire thing with no voice, with my voice completely absent. So I'm going over this thing and basically just paraphrasing stuff. Well, not paraphrasing, just, you know, just giving a bit of dialogue over and there for you to listen to. I kind of can't remember what I said in here, what I said during these 4, so, but I do remember my thoughts to an extent.
Oi! You there? Could you help us out, Cully?
Yeah, that surprised me hearing that, especially next to this opponent.
Yeah, you. Stop pretending you can't see.
Kind of hard for me to do that when I'm fighting a mob.
Why won't anyone look me in the eye?
And now I begin to look for him.
I'm not that ugly, am I?
And here I am trying to look for him. I'm kind of perplexed, because I see nothing. Very hopeful message there. And there I am just looking, just going like, hey, hello? Who's here?
Oi! You there?
And here I am just
Could you
following the
help
sound.
us out, Cully? You? Yeah, you there? Stop pretending you can't see me.
I'm starting to notice these things. I'm noticing that the sound's coming the loudest from here. Or, actually, wait, no. Okay, no. I have no idea what I was thinking
Why
here.
won't anyone look me in the eye?
Ah, there we go. Now it
I'm
clicks.
not that ugly, am I?
Now it clicks. I read the message. Voila!
What'd you go and do that for?
There we go. Giving that guy my approval.
Oh, yes. I remember. Some clod turned me into a tree. You were just breaking the spell, weren't you? Thank you. The name's Bok. I was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come back. Not ever. Then I ended up as a tree. Lucky you came along, really.
I gotta say,
Oh.
he
What
looks
a
a lot
shame.
better than what the community
When
makes.
they threw me out of the cave. They took everything I owned, and so this is all I have to express my thanks. I hope you can forgive me.
He's a very nice little guy.
Or, well, if you can afford to wait for a while, I could sneak back into the cave and bring back something of actual value. Then I'd be of some real use to you, I reckon. Right, but I'll need a moment. I'm frightened of them, so I have to gather myself. My knees start knocking, just thinking about that god-awful cave on the shore.
I spent a while looking, and I had no fucking idea where was this cave. Turns out it's actually pretty near the start, and I had no idea of that.
Right, but my knees start.
Yeah. And here I am just looking over, just wondering, maybe there? Because I'm not looking past like air, because I wasn't thinking I might have missed something, and clearly that was a mistake. Getting some mobs here for no reason. Now I'm looking over and I see that special beetle. Or I ignore it and I go for these guys. Yeah, I completely ignore the beetle. I probably assumed it was some kind of FP beetle, because I hadn't seen one yet. Getting hit there like a champ. Oh, I forgot I did that. I forgot I did that. Yeah, so yeah, don't be too eager about throwing off attacks on a torrent near a cliff. And there I go, I check for Bok to see if he's still there, and he's not. And so begins the goose hunt. Killing that poor defenseless animal in cold blood just for its beast bones. And still throwing that beetle. For most people it would have clicked, but there is a reason the beetle is standing there in the middle of the road. Usually they tend to be, you know, the restorative beetles tend to be kind of out of the way. This is clearly meant to indicate something for the player, but that was completely lost on me. I was just more obsessed with the enemies around here. Oh, nearly going off a cliff. Looking over here, deciding where I go. I also missed that. There was an item to the right that I missed. I noticed the caravan. Decided that it looked scary, so I went elsewhere. There's also a huge forest. I did not go in there until like much later, because I was kind of staying basically where the cliff edge is, thinking this is kind of like the starting area when... Well, to be honest, you can go to the later levels, but it's not kind of recommended. I was just kind of staying here, staying to this one area to keep safe. Oh yeah, that ghost was referring to teardrops, which is a special item that I'm not going to spoil yet what you can do with them. Well, unless you've already watched other playthroughs and already know, or just looked at the wiki. I see a dungeon with a pretty scary looking flower, and I turn around the other way and leave, because I don't want to be any part of that. And I also don't come back there quite later. Yeah, I hop off torrent just to make killing these guys easier. Here's me, considering whether to go for it. Very helpful message there. I also see the large giant convoy, and I believe I decided to skip that, or... Oh no, I decided to try and raid that to see if I could take it, but... No. And basically, to stop it, you have to kill the two trolls at the front, but I was thinking that you have to... First kill the whole convoy and then the trolls. So I kind of was going like, okay, I'll do that later. And basically just run past them. To instead explore everything else. Yeah, kill some passerbys just for fun and runes. Well, and loot. And decide to kill one of these guys again, because I can't remember whether I was wondering they would give stuff or it was just because they gave more runes. I think it was mostly because of stuff. I mean, to be honest, you see a particular enemy and you want to kill it all over and over again in the Souls game to see if it drops something. And voila, he gave something. He gave me his trousers. And there I am, going to go read it. And I'll just read the description for you. Trousers worn by Kaidan sellswords. These hulking fearless mercenaries, set to hail from the mountaintops of the wintry north, are adept at fighting on horseback. Kaidan is the name of their home settlement. The whole thing with them, they kind of make me... So, their armor makes me think Viking, but their style makes them seem Mongolian in inspiration. I see a base, and thinking that, you know, going for the front is... Oh wait, no. I decided to kill that guy for more of his shit. Oh yeah, this is your first encounter with an enemy that does spells, and he just throws arrows that, you know, soul arrows that really, that track you quite a bit. I got hit by something, I have no idea what. It was probably the stuff they do. Well, there's a stick of Marika I didn't notice there earlier. But yeah, I just had to go around the back because I don't want to deal with those two guys pebbling me with spells, so I go around the back to finish him off that way. I decided to go that way when I could easily just clear that by double jumping Torrent. Remember, Torrent can double jump, which is a huge push. And there I am getting hit by a soul arrow. Yeah, and I go for that guy first. No, I go for him first. No idea how that did not hit me. There we go. Remember, you go to double jump. Oh man. A Royal House scroll, which was... Well, I don't know what I felt about. I don't know what I felt about outside. I only remember 3 specific things. Things that I remember, like... I think it was 3 particular moments that I remember what I was feeling throughout this whole session. Must have been that guy I was hitting earlier. Or maybe this one. I don't know. I had no idea how he had like 1/5 of health. And this guy just staring at me awkwardly at a distance despite the fact that he's still his buddies, and this one's surprising me from the back. Oh, I ended it there. Yeah, I was ending these kind of short because I was scared of that crash I heard earlier in the cave. So yeah, so I was kind of just making the video short and because I was worried no crashes. Eventually, I kind of just did an entire hour-long session and forgot to do that, and I was like, hey, you know what? I haven't had a crash in a while. Let's just keep doing this, and you know, I haven't had a crash in a while. This was, by the way, happened after I tweaked the resolution of my monitor, and then tweaked some settings in my driver. The reason I think he picked up his weapon and noticed me is because I probably like fell off a thing that was a bit too high, and that's the thing that kind of annoys me. It's that crouching stops immediately the moment you fall down, and it like doesn't matter if it's like even like a little tiny drop. If you fall off even one tiny thing, the crouch immediately ends. That's kind of annoying for me, because it means that, you know, you want to go for a stealth, but you have to drop down, and the enemies far away, they just notice you anyway. Not that much poise. And hey, I get this guy's gauntlets. And of course, I look for it to see if it says anything else new. And it basically says the same thing, which, you know, makes sense, but I then put them on for fashion. Fashion souls never dies. And here's a new weapon that kind of intrigued me. Although it was 16 dex. Originally, I thought I was gonna be sticking with the strength build, but eventually I went a more different path. You'll see eventually what I build. Killing these poor workers just for the rules and loot. They don't want to fight strangely though, which I don't know why that is. Oh yeah, I also learned how to access the pouch. Oh, this is just me checking that just OBS was working. By the way, I can't remember when I learned it, but I did eventually learn how to use the pouch, and you basically access it just by pressing the top button on the control, on the, you know, the Y or triangle. Y for Xbox controllers and the triangle for PlayStation controllers to access the pouch, which is basically the second bag they can assign different items to. I loot this as well. A Starlight Shard, which I have no idea what they do exactly. Used to gradually recover FP. An ephemeral sliver that gives off a pale blue glow, what remains of a passing flash of starlight. Used to gradually recover FP. A prized item that was once used in the Eternal City as an ingredient in intoxicating draughts. So I guess this is an item that's, you know, caster builds are gonna really love, because it gradually restores FP, which probably kind of alleviates. Oh, and I jumped this off, and I didn't die there. I expected to though. Going for their loot, and I go that way to check, and I notice a grace. Raising endurance there. yeah, just wondering where to go. And I decide to... So basically, my modus operandi of checking the area is I will basically hug the edges the most, and then kind of just zigzag the rest of the area to, you know, just to basically to just scour everything in like this one big zigzag. And I found this. Apparently I go over it. Oh no, I decided to go in there. This, by the way, gives me the weapon I am anticipating that I'm going to be staying to with the longest, just because I liked how it looked. Bloodhound Knight Darrowil. Is it Darrowil? Like, is that how you pronounce it? I think it is. Oh, getting hit like an idiot. Yeah, Bloodhound Knight Darrowil. Some dancer or what was it called? Laurent? No, not Laurent. That was not Laurent. It's fuck, I can't remember. Things like, you know, dancer, Vort. Those kind of guys, and even those enemies in Dark Souls 3 that were basically knights that were on all fours with a sword and casting ice everywhere. That's what made me think of it. I know it's called, I believe... No, not Lothric. Lothric was somewhere else, I think. Oh, fuck. I can't remember the name. What was the name of the big city in Dark Souls where all the gods lived, where Gwyn used to live? I can't remember. No idea how that did not hit me. No idea either was there. Very tight hitboxes, I gotta say. Yeah, he's a pretty simple boss. To be honest, he's not very challenging. I mean, look at how much health he's losing in. His attacks are pretty telegraphed and easy to predict. And then he got stance broken, and then riposted and died. Bloodhound's Fang, which is, in my opinion, one of the best weapons you can get early on. Oh, this is probably just me standing, talking there, not even realizing that the sound is not even there. And look at here. And it requires 18 strength to use. I have 20 and 17 dexterity. So this is a quality weapon. And if you don't know what quality is in the Soul series, it's basically when you build both strength and dexterity. Well, level both strength and dexterity. Because it has a D rating in strength and a C rating in dex. didn't even read it, or did I? No. Instead I looked at the map to see where else to go. And I encounter a fight going off with those Gremlin dudes and Lord Sworn soldiers. And I got into the fray expecting... So I went into this expecting something special, and there is none. This is just basically, it's a set piece thing. It's there to give them... It's there to make the world, you know, alive. Seem alive. But you know, it'd be pretty dull if, you know, it'd be pretty dull if it was just a bunch of dudes of one faction just standing and guarding an area. And I go to read the Lord of the Rickety Shield, and of course, a creaky old wooden shield, circular in shape, roughly reinforced with vines, and basically just saying it's basically it. If you know the shield, the only shield you can get, well, used to be the only shield you can get in Bloodborne. It's basically a joke item meant to tell you this is a piece of shit. Don't use it. I see a Kaidan rider, and I decide to go fight him. Missing like 3 or 5 attacks there, I think. Oh, that's embarrassing. Yeah, I set to room at Marka, and I go in here and I meet an interesting somebody. This dude with the weird... I don't know what those hats are called, but it's weird. But it's a weird hat. I know it's a Japanese thing, though.
You must be the new Tarnished. Beautiful work. Felling that dragon, and as such, there's something you might like to know. The heart you brought back. It's used in dragon communion. If you should find yourself overcome by hunger for the heart, yearning for its strength, then seek the decrepit church on the little island off the western coast.
And immediately, I knew it was this island, but I had no fucking clue how to get there. Similar to the Bok case.
Though, those who partake in dragon communion will one day shed their humanity, their hunger for dragon, their yearning only worsens until the floodgates burst, unleashing eternal torment.
And then he just
the strength of a mighty
and then he
dragon.
just repeats this line over and over when you talk to him.
Magnificent, but deadly. It's no surprise that dragon communion is ruinous.
So the people who partake in dragon communion eventually turn into dragons. So basically,
You must not forget that.
Bloodborne shenanigans.
Those who partake in their hunger for dragon until the floodgates strand. It's no surprise.
So this kind of made me think. I was thinking that the wyvern I killed could have been perhaps an individual, you know, a human at some point. Or maybe he is like a pure dragon, as in like, you know, born a dragon, died a dragon, and not like a human that just gradually molted into a dragon or whatever the process is. we're here at a cliff edge. That stumped me. Yeah, and you can see me here changing gears to level dexterity as soon as possible to get the Bloodhound sword as fast as possible. What am I doing? Oh, I'm trying to get as many runes to basically level. I completely forgot I did that. Then again, I completely forgot I did a lot of things in this time. And there we go. I used a bit too many runes and I level up Dex another point. I was considering, I kind of have a, I can't remember what it is. The thing where you don't like when something is like uneven or like off. It's not ADHD. I can't fucking remember it. I haven't used this name in a long time. It's basically, you know, you can't stand something being uneven and you fix it constantly. It's that thing. I am kind of like that. And I have this thing where I will, for example, like raise vitality by up to like 5 and then switch to another thing and that also up to like 5. To basically get that clean number. And there I am looking for ways to get down this cliff, trying to see if there is a possible route anywhere. A message telling me not to go there, as it would not be a good idea. And here I am just trying to edge a little bit, just trying to see if there's like a cave maybe nearby somewhere. Yeah. Practically expresses what I was feeling, which is like, how the fuck do I get down there? Yeah, like looking around here for a little alcove anywhere, like a little cave. Maybe there is one, maybe not. I don't know. I'll look over it later if there's like a proper way to get down there, but I don't know if it's intentioned. I don't know if the way I went down there was intentioned, but I basically went down there a very, well, a particular way, so to say. Oh yeah, I went that way to check, is like maybe down here. Maybe I can get down here through here, maybe. Stand around and scream a lot. I wanted to riposte them so bad. That's clearly no point. I literally paid no mind to the island over there. I thought it was like supposed to be some late game area. looking over here, and still no way down, just a steep drop down. Oh, there's a message over there. Well, that rock does have a bit of like the outline, but I ultimately went like, okay, I guess this is just someone making a joke, and they clearly fooled people enough to believe it, which is why it's so highly appraised. And back to looking for different area, for different edges to scan. I noticed that it was like a little corner there. And eventually... yeah, I'm like looking here. And I jump down. Or I'm guessing you are actually supposed to jump down here. Because I didn't see any like secret passages. Then again, I don't believe I checked thoroughly enough either. Yeah, basically just scanning the area for safe areas to drop down. I double jumped there because I believe that if it's possible. I'm not sure, but I thought it's possible that you can jump, that if you double jump at the right time, you can basically stop the fall damage. Might have to test that out later on. I'm playing some guy who can wielding some kind of dark magic. I noticed that he has dark skin, and he has pointed ears. So some kind of like dark elf looking dude. And he has an Ash of War. Gravitas. Gravitas, skill originating from the Alabaster Lords who had skin of stone. Thrust the ornament into the ground to create a gravity well. In addition to dealing damage, this attack pulls enemies in. So this is an Ash of War. Which, by the way, when filling with Ashes of War, you also have like a second thing. I don't know if it's a separate, I can't remember. I think it's a separate item. Yeah, I think. Where you can basically make it that the weapon, the weapon has different, it has a it has a different typing, things like raw, keen, quality, which basically changes its stat rating, which is, you know, basically the feature that makes it that something fuck, I'm lost the words. It basically does more damage if you're higher in this stat than the other, so like it has an A in strength. I notice a cave, and it's very dark. Yeah, I was being pretty wary here. Decided to pull out the torch, because, you know, who knows what could be down here. I noticed an item, and I was expecting a trap here. I mean, face it, at this point, if you've played the Souls series long enough, you always expect a trap. But apparently, this is the item that was hanging over in the first episode, which was, yeah, quite a shocker to me. So there was no fight, no big fight, just an item. I have no idea what I was doing at this time. I was going to read this. Talisman depicting a golden ancient dragon boosts holy damage negation. The ancient dragons who ruled in the prehistoric era before the Urchi would protect their lord as a wall of living rock, and so it is the shape of the dragon has become symbolic of all manner of protections. So, this is, I think, another reference to Dark Souls. I remember that when I saw the trailer, I made a joke about the... there's a theory in the Soul series where where basically the theory says is that from Demon Souls to Dark Souls to Bloodborne, you know, this is basically the same world or universe, but just progressing through a different era of history. And you know, it's like connected, you know. It started out as Demon Souls, it turned into Dark Souls, and then eventually became Bloodborne. And I remember making a joke on one of the trailers that about it. I won't spoil it what it is. Almost tempted to though. I go back to him, he's still there. Oh, and the video ended. Oh, and I skipped quite a far bit ahead, yeah, and I'm now going to attack that convoy out of curiosity. This was probably unnecessary to clear out all these enemies. I think you just have to kill the 2 trolls to get it to stop moving, and like that's it. But I was scared that you know, you attack the trolls, the entire mob just aggroes onto you. And I didn't want to fight, you know, an entire mob plus 2 trolls. Oh, actually, I didn't know they were called trolls. They were, I thought they were just simply some kind of giant, but I thought they were... but I just simply know later on that they're trolls, so sorry, that's a little bit of an unintentional spoiler. The dudes with torches, man. I remember in Dark Souls 1 there was this particular, like, zombie enemy with a torch. They were fucking scary. They were legit scary if you were a melee character. If you were ranged, they were not that bad. Or just had a really long weapon. Nice of them to just stand there and take it. Run into another guy with a torch.
Out of this house! Out of this house!
Yeah, he killed these guys out of spite. And then he just forgets about me. Great job there, missing my weapon like 2 times. 3 times. I have no idea how many times. I think you are supposed to lock on to make hitting them easier. Do I kill these guys? Yeah, I do. I noticed that they have some very fancy looking swords, but I don't think they dropped. Oh yeah, this is me me trying to open it again, seeing if I can open it after killing the whole mob. Nope, you have to kill the trolls at the front. This one just kind of stood there and did nothing. Yeah, I basically just ran around hitting him there and missing there. Yeah, I had to switch targets because of this asshole. I just hit him there. Not there though. I'm missing that completely. As well as that. And now back to the trolls. Yeah, this is a little bit boring. This guy sits down. If he kneels like that, if he kneels down like that, I think that's an indicator that you can actually go to the thing and get the and open the chest. But I didn't, you know, read into that. There I am riposting him for big damage, 411, big. Oh, and he's also free because the chain snapped off. These guys, they're not as scary as they look. They're actually pretty easy, especially the horse. What a big payday in runes as well. I have no idea why that happened. The item was just simply not there. And there it was. Somehow spawning there. I have no idea how. I imagine this is probably a frequent bug, something to do with it being a moving object. And, you know, most of the time, you know, stuff that, items tied to like a specific corpse or chest are stationary. But there is a very simple way to fix this. And you'll see in just about any second now. There we go. You quit out of the game and you log back in. And this basically resets stuff. So this would reset things like the special little critters that would disappear, which in this case are the beetles. This will reset where mobs are. This will even reset where the ragdoll of those mobs are. So if you kill a mob, even if you pull them like 50 meters away from where they are, from where they start off, and then if you quit and then log back in, they were literally just, yeah, you see, just go back to where they started. Yeah, this is me a bit confused. And running back. And praying to God that that it was, you know, didn't bug out and completely ruin the, you know, and that item was just gone forever. But no, there it was, just sitting there with an open chest. Great axe. This weapon's fucking massive, by the way. And this is me. By the way, even if you have insufficient strength, if you two-hand it, if I recall, the game basically acts as if you have, like, doubled your strength. or something like that. Great axe akin to a huge lump of iron, recognized as the weapon of choice of Badland chieftains. Too heavy to be wielded by those of merely ordinary strength, blows from this axe will flatten enemies, and the force of its charge attack is a sight to behold. So yeah, this is a really big axe, and you'll see how big. Yeah, basically saying that I have to two-hand this thing. Yeah, look at it. Fucking massive. And basically just considering, do I keep this? Probably should have used it for a bit while the... you know, before I could use the Bloodhound sword. And this is just me just testing out, you know, everything. It's R1s, it's R2s, it's weapon art, or weapon skill, whatever. I think weapon arts, I think they're still called weapon arts, which is basically the special skills tied to a specific weapon. And Ashes of War are basically just variations of that skill, but you can just put them on anything. And